Yeah, hello. Am I audible till the last? Okay. So I would not have started this talk without this meme because we are going to talk about a different way to write slides basically. So presentation is all about content and topic, but there are some interesting ways using which you can design your presentations. So yeah, it's a meta talk, a talk about talks basically. So yeah, no, not Facebook, but yeah, meta and something. Self-referring basically. So yeah. So first step is filling up CFPs. So we are in the AI world, so a lot of people just copy paste the CFPs. So there are some, I'll show you one example basically. So organizers clearly specified what they are expecting the CFP. So what, why, and how it will impact basically. So yeah, so you can describe briefly that what you're planning to cover. So I am planning to cover how to write slides, and also I have written what I'm not doing. Okay. So I think some glitch, but yeah. Yeah, then I will describe the topic in the detail that what I'm planning to cover. Titles, then there's some issue with the mic. And I've provided my portfolio basically, like what kind of slides I've designed in the past, and okay. And we are not going to talk about CFPs, but we are going to focus on designing the slides. But there is one more section which is speaking, which we also won't cover because I'm not an expert at speaking, but designing the slides basically. Yeah. So let's see what a talk consists of. Basically, if this all of the things which I'm going to talk about are optional. If you don't include them, then also you can make amazing presentations. But this can give a different element to your talks. Basically, if you add any of this. So a title, then an icebreaker, basically some introduction. Rather than directly jumping into the topic, you talk about something else. Like it warms up the audience basically. Yeah, what software you use and what kind of animations you use. You should avoid crazy animations like rotation and all. So content, so like what prerequisites are required, what kind of setup is needed, then your core sections, then how you present the source code, things like that. And how you wind down your talk, basically you can talk about something funny, maybe you can include some game or quiz, things like that. Let's talk about the title. So how you can write a catchy title, because that's how audience will decide whether to attend your talk or not. We'll see some examples, but first thing is observation, maybe life, movies, people, other people's talk. So observations will help you with coming up with creative titles, and that process is called as copywriting. So Zomato and Swiggy notifications are prime example of copywriting. So you every day get some funny notifications from both of these companies, and I'll show you some examples of copywriting as well. Yeah, so you can see the image actually, right? It's a purse and one tab, so personal. Then there is the second slide, Kashmir Ki Kali, basically they are talking about GST, and so it's an interesting wordplay actually. Yeah, a couple of more. So fast food, sabudana khichdi is fast food. Wishing people is a vicious cycle. So wordplay basically, nothing else, but it's very funny. Okay, something wrong with the clicker. Yeah, a couple of more examples. So ChatGPT is Doraemon for adults. Then if you're sharing some bad news, you can say this meeting could have been a forehead kiss. 15K likes on that. That's amazing. So copywriting is not about copying, but using some humor or witty stuff or a wordplay to write captions or some kind of text. Yeah, those are the Twitter handles for those two people you can follow. And of course, you can use LLMs, but use it with caution because LLMs can generate generic output if you provide the generic inputs. So if you write interesting prompts, you'll get interesting results. Yeah, let's look at some examples. Yeah, so let's say if I'm planning to talk about Flutter SDK. Yeah, I forgot to tell about that, but I have contributed actively to the Flutter SDK, and I'm a team member in the Flutter organization. So I delivered a talk. I can keep a title like this: "Getting started with contributing to Flutter SDK." It sounds okay, but you can also write something like this. Yeah, the other side of the coin. Learning the art of contributing to the Flutter SDK. Like, it's very catchy. People will just by looking at the title, people will find it a bit interesting. Let's look at one more example. Let's say you are talking about Flutter and Gemini. So this title is fine, but we can write something like this. Clicker. Yeah, so I generalized the word Gemini with AI and Flutter with pixels. So intersection of pixels and AI, what's possible with Flutter and Gemini. So it rhymes actually. Yeah, so it's how you think about basically it depends. Actually, it's a creative process. Yeah, so instead of directly talking about your talk, you can have some icebreaker or some topic using which you can navigate the audience into the core topic. So let's look at some examples. Clicker is weird. Oh, sorry. My fundamentals are... Come on. Yeah, so you can ask the audience whether mic is working or not. Yeah, for me it's kind of messed up. So also you can ask the audience what kind of audience is there, how many developers, how many product designers. So house check basically. Come on. Yeah, you can build an interesting story around your talk and then take your audience into the core topic. So we'll look at example of that. And you can also include one agenda so that it sets the expectation. Basically it tells the expectation like what audience can expect. Let's look at the example of a story. Please work. So let's say a talk is about Flutter and Gemini. You can talk about both of the technologies and show what the true potential is. Something like let's take an example. You can do a wordplay around both the tech, like what Flutter can do and what Gemini can do, and then you can actually navigate into the topic. Please work. Yeah, so this is the first commit message of the Flutter. So you can say Flutter can build cross-platform apps. That's boring. But you can say something like this. So Flutter was called Sky when it started. So you can say, you can include something like this to show the power of Flutter. We can build apps, but we can also build things like this with Flutter. So, I built it, but yeah, anyways. So it shows actually a creative perspective of a technology. We can jump to Gemini. So Gemini can write things, and yeah, it can write things like this. It shows the potential of the technology in a unique perspective, basically. Yeah, what if A.R. Rahman played some famous music, basically? Rahman can answer it, or you can ask the LLM. Yeah, so this also shows that basically the potential of Gemini. Yeah. And then you can actually navigate into the core topic. And let's look at the agenda, the other point which you can start with. So it gives you the high level overview, like what you are planning to cover, like basically the blueprint or the layout of your talk. It also sets the expectation, audience, they come with some expectation when they see your submit, when they see the meetup page and all, that we can expect this. So agenda actually gives that. Let's look at one example for that. Yeah, something like this. Yeah, images. So tags are really boring. So some of you may already feeling sleepy. So I think we can include some images in the talk so that it looks nice. Yeah, it shows the crucial details. Like if you are showing the code, I mean, don't literally write it. Design some beautiful screenshots. Yeah, it's easier to follow when you view some image rather than text. Yeah. So there is one site called as Carbon, using which you can generate screenshots like this. It provides background customization, syntax highlighting. You can share this. I mean, when people share code on social media, they usually use stuff like this. So if you want, you can take a picture, but Carbon is the service. Yeah, next. Please work. Okay, sure. Yeah, work now. So let's say if you want to showcase how to create a Flutter project, rather than showing the entire wizard, you can just write a command like this, use a tool like Carbon, and basically show that this is how you can create a Flutter project. It's minimal and very simple. Adding a dependency to a project, you can again write a command like this. You can also show a code like this, but the previous one is much better. Yeah, so if you use links in your presentations, you can actually create hyperlinks. So when you share your presentation post the event, people can click on those hyperlinks actually. So this is a hyperlink, you can click on it actually once I share it. So yeah. Yeah, animations. So I'm using a software called as Keynote. It works with Apple usually, and they provide one nice animation. So basically, I'll show you the example. Let's say we have this image. It's not really visible, but if I have the same image on the second slide, let's say if I have one image here on the first slide, and on the second side I have two images, but one image is common. So it will automatically create a transition when I switch to the next slide. So something like this. Something like this. Yeah. This is like images from the movie Interstellar. How many of you actually watched it? It's a nice film. Yeah, nice. You can also use magic move with text. So basically, this is the first point. Now when I go to the next slide, it will automatically create a transition. So basically you have to duplicate your slides. First slide will contain the first point, second will contain the second point, and so on, something like this. Yeah. Very crucial part. So Carbon is amazing, but when you are showing critical source codes, there is a better way to highlight it on the slides. So let's look at one example. Let's look at the points actually, what you need to take care of when you are showcasing the source code. So first is syntax highlighting. So every language has different, colors. Basically, when you write your code in your editor, right, every variable, like basically data type, if you're writing in JavaScript, then basically colors are different for the, basically syntax highlighting, all of you know, I think. So you should keep your code to the point, don't include the entire code. What is important to showcase, only include that part of the code. We can use one animation called as dissolve, which we'll see in the example. You have to hide the unnecessary source code with some square boxes. Again, we'll see this in example. And slide duplication. Let's look at, let's say if I want to highlight this source code line by line, what I'll do is, basically I'll start with the import, right? So I'll hide the remaining portion with one square box. The color should match with the background, so black in this case. And I'll add some opacity. So this is how it will look. So you can line by line explain your source code to the audience, and this is very elegant way used in most of the international conferences as well. And yeah, it's very intuitive. Audience can follow snippet by snippet. My slides I uploaded in Drive. I thought someone might copy it, so yeah. So. Yeah, memes. So some element of fun basically. So a couple of points I'll show you, like what is the importance of memes. You can you can look at your favorite movies or TV shows or any pop culture references, which is like pop culture means, which is something which is very trending right now. Of course, it keeps it engaging, like people find it fun. Don't overuse the memes, otherwise people will get distracted and lose focus on the actual content. Avoid edgy memes, basically something which can hurt people, which is offensive, or include nice memes basically. And these are tweets basically from some of my friends. So people do talk about your memes post your talk. So let's say there is some good movie which came out 10 years ago. Some people still discuss it even after 10 years. So something like this. People do discuss about memes on social media. Some people have no style. Some people want to keep their presentation simple. Some people like memes. So yeah, it's nice actually. You get some internet points. Some bonus tips actually. So far we only talked about writing, but a couple of points about presentation. How you can about the speaking part of the presentation. So yeah, you can practice. Chingam also helps. Mic also helps because you don't have to put efforts in raising your voice. Keep giving talks. Drinking water also helps. So yeah, keep minimal points basically. Don't memorize a script or something. Try to improvise on the fly if you need. Couple of resources you can refer to design your presentations. So this guy's Jay Haas, you can check out his presentations. He used to build amazing presentations. He worked at the Sun Microsystems, the people who created Java. Then he shifted to Android when it started. Worked there for 20 years in the framework team and started the stand-up comedy career recently. So very amazing person to follow. You can watch his talks. They are very engaging. And this is a 40-minute blog which he wrote about how you can present the presentations. Yeah, I showed you that code, basically how you can showcase the code, right, with square boxes on. So you can follow this video. This is where I learned this trick, basically. Yeah, you can take a picture. Sorry. Yeah. Let me know once we are done with taking pictures. Yeah. If your style is not like adding memes or something like this, things other than content, then this is the simplest presentation I found. Very content rich, by a guy called Aditya Thakur. He is a Google developer expert for Flutter. You can refer this presentation. It's very simple presentation, doesn't include anything other than content. Very content rich and amazing. So just 30 slides he has in the presentation. Couple of people to thank without whom the talk would not have been possible, starting with Dhruva and Drumil, who helped me from the start. Couple of my friends to thank who reviewed my slides, and I also worked with them professionally, all three of them, Mahima, Samved and Bhavik. This is the speaker deck link where I'll post the presentation, and similarly you can also do this. Once your presentation is done, you can upload your slides here. It's like a portfolio for a speaker basically. Thanks to WTM Ahmedabad for the opportunity and organizing this conference. Thanks to GDG Ahmedabad as well. These are their Twitter links and meetup page links. You can follow them if you are not already. You can take a picture. This is the feedback form for this presentation. You can also include similar, QR code and feedback form in your presentations as well. So you can improve on the future talks basically. You can take a picture and give your honest feedback for this talk. Yeah, positive, negative, what you like, what you didn't. Let me know once we're done with taking pictures. Yeah. People are still taking nice. More feedbacks here. I need it. Yeah, that's the end of the presentation, and RCB Women's Team creating the history, basically. My social media, you can follow me, basically, Twitter and LinkedIn.